It's Pops here at ILWPOD. We're here for another This Day in Wrestling History, Sunday, November 30th. And we're going to jump in the Wayback Machine and go back to November to Remember, 1997. It was the 5th annual November to Remember ECW pay-per-view. And it starts out with Joey Styles thanking everyone for the largest house in ECW history. Joey's hyping up the pay-per-view. I love Joey Styles on the headsets or on the mic. I think he's an awesome commentary. It's just amazing. Awesome commentator. The first match, we get Tommy Rogers from the Fantastics, used to be part of the Fantastics, versus No Gimmicks Needed, Chris Candido. And Chris at the time was a part of the Triple Threat. The Triple Threat had some issues. At this point, Bam Bam is actually fighting Shane Douglas in the main event for the world title. So Chris Candido had brought in Lance Storm as like a recruit for the Triple Threat. So you got Douglas, Storm as a recruit, and then Candido. So you get Chris Candido versus Tommy Rogers, the part of the Triple Threat. It's a great chain wrestling to start the match. Crowd in the building is chanting boring. And I didn't think so, though. I really enjoyed the match. It was great chain wrestling. It was really good. I was really into it. Rogers hits Candido with a suplex to the floor, which was kind of vicious. Then Rogers works over Candido's previously injured neck. Lance Storm comes out to interfere to help Candido. And then out of nowhere, Jerry Lynn comes out to help Tommy Rogers. And this match instantly turns into a tag team match. This was customary in ECW for a match to be going on, and then out of nowhere, an impromptu tag began, or an impromptu four-way. It was a nice way to do the show, and it was different. I remember the first time I ever seen ECW programming. It was one of the things that made me like it, made me enjoy it. So we get a bunch of double team spots, really nice double team wrestling. Candido hits the blonde bombshell from the top rope. It's a powerbomb maneuver on Jerry Lynn. Rogers then breaks up the pin, hits Lance Storm with a Tamikaze, which is basically Tommy Rogers' version of the Unprettier. Only to have Chris Candido hit a Northern Lights suplex with a bridge for the win. I think this was a perfect open match. I think it was great. 10 out of 10 in my book. I encourage anybody to go check this match out. Yet again, it starts out just Chris Candido, Tommy Rogers from the Fantastic, but then they make it into a tag team. And it's a really good match. I really enjoyed it. So I think you will too. We get a ECW video package next with Just Incredible with Jason. It was pretty good. The video package was pretty good, hyping up the Just Incredible Mikey Whipwreck match that's coming up next. So we get Just Incredible with Jason versus Mikey Whipwreck. It's a solid match. Jason gets involved. Mikey kicks him low, then hits Just Incredible with a top rope whippersnapper to score the victory. It was interesting. It was really nice, really good match. I liked it. Lots of action. Then we get Al Snow in the back, and he's doing a classic head promo, and I loved it. Al showing his like schizophrenic side. I think it brings out the character. It's really good. Then we shoot back to the ECW commentary team, and we get Paulie Dangerously, Paul Heyman, joining Joey Styles for a minute on the mic. They really complimented each other. It was really interesting. And at this point, he's on the mic for the TV title match. And the TV title match will be the champion, Taz, versus the Pitbull number 2, with Pitbull number 1 in his corner. And this is lots of hard-hitting action right off the bat. Right off the bat, Pitbull hits Taz with a couple strikes, and then power bombs Taz right away, making everybody think that Taz is going to get beat really quick. But then Taz gets back to his feet, throws a couple crazy Taz style suplexes. You know how crazy those are. And right after that, locks in the Taz mission, the Taga Hajime, and makes Pitbull number 2 tap out. Then he suplexes Pitbull number 1, who was injured with a broken neck. Taz then grabs the mic and calls out Mr. Right. Then beats up a security guard. Paulie says, cut, get off the screen, get out of here, to make it like a shoot angle, which I thought was really good. I enjoyed it. It was pretty interesting. They was portraying Taz as like this badass character, which I really enjoyed. Next, we get a video package of Bam Bam Bigelow throwing Spike Dudley into the crowd. Remember, he picks Spike up like this, and he throws him, and they crowd surf him all around. That had happened the month before, so we get a video package of that. And amongst other, Bam Bam Bigelow wins. They're showing a video package because Bam Bam is now the world champion, the ECW world champion, and he will be defending against former triple threat partner Shane Douglas later in the night in Pittsburgh, in Douglas's hometown. So next we get the tag team title match, which is a 4-way dance. This was a big deal in ECW, the 4-way dance. We get the full-blooded Italians, the FBI, with Tommy Rich, with the Don, Tommy Rich. So we got Tracy Smothers and Nunzio, or Little Guido, whatever you want to call him. And they're taking on Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys. And the Dudley Boys will have Gertner with them, Joel Gertner, Sign Guy Dudley, and Big Dick. And of course, you know, Joel Gertner is amazing on the mic. His intros for the match are crazy. Kind of a little adult, but I enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed it when I was a teenager watching it. So it's one of those things, you know, you're not supposed to watch, but you enjoy. So we got the FBI, we got the Dudleys, and then we get Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney. And last, we get the Gangstanators. And what this was New Jack and Cronus of the Eliminators. It's a crazy ECW tag team 4-way match. Lots of weapons. New Jack breaks out everything right at the beginning. So, and then there's chair shots from Axel and Balls. New Jack breaks out all the toys, all the implements of destruction. There's a cheese grater, amongst other things. And then he pulls out a guitar. Big Dick Dudley gets in the ring. New Jack actually lays Big Dick out with this guitar. Knocks him out. First time I had ever seen Big Dick knocked out like that. So it was kind of interesting. Then, out of nowhere, he pulls out a second guitar and smashes it over the Don, Tommy Rich's head, and puts Tommy Rich out. Bubba hits Coronis as he's coming off the top. Coronis is coming off the top rope with some kind of dive. Bubba, out of nowhere, hits him with a Bubba cutter to eliminate New Jack and Cronus. So the Gangstanators is gone. Then we get Joe Gertner. He gets up on the ring apron, throws powder, and it accidentally, Bubba's holding somebody. He goes to throw it in their eyes. They duck. It hits Bubba in the face. So Bubba's blind. As this is going on, Balls Mahoney whips Devon off the ropes and picks him up like this to do a flapjack maneuver. Bubba, being blinded, hits the 3D on Devon. Axel Rotten rolls in the ring, gets the pin, eliminates the Dudley Boys. So, gets rid of the Dudleys. Little Guido pins Balls after hitting him in the balls. So, Little Guido hits him with a low blow. And they retain their tag team championships. The FBI retained their tag team championships. Next, we get a pre-recorded package with Tommy Dreamer and Beulah McGillicuddy talking about his match with RVD. RVD was doing his Mr. Monday Night gimmick at the time. So this is a flag match. Tommy Dreamer has the ECW flag. RVD has the WWF flag. RVD was kind of making it seem like him and Alfonso was from WWF at the time, and they were going to go to either Nitro in WCW or Raw in WWF. So it was one of those things. I really liked the build-up. The package was really good. I enjoyed all of it. So then we get the match, RVD and Tommy Dreamer, and it starts off crazy because Tommy has a broken heel at the time. He's in a metal cast. So they instantly start doing this technical chain wrestling, real good start, and they're both going after each other's heel, their ankle, like doing ankle maneuvers. Okay, so like I was saying, they get out on the floor, and it turns into the ECW style matchup we're used to. At one point, RVD hits a somersault off the guardrail. Dreamer busts Van Dam open with a chair shot. It's nasty. It's right above his eye, which is causing the blood to run in his eye. RVD goes for a split-legged moonsault out of the corner inside the ring. Dreamer grabs him and DDTs him, which I thought was awesome. It was innovative. That's why they call him the innovator of violence, of course. Lots of outside shenanigans. Tommy hits RVD with a pile driver for a 2 count. More shenanigans with Stevie Richards, Doug Furnace, Phil LaFont, and Sabu. You got to really just watch this. The match ends in cluster. It's just a lot of shenanigans. You'll have to go check this out for yourself. The next, we get a TLC match with Sandman versus Sabu. So when Sandman comes out, everybody's still in the ring. They've done... Tommy Dreamer beat RVD, but then all the shenanigans happen. So then they beat up Tommy Dreamer. They lay the flag over him. Everybody's beating him up. They beat Pula up. Sabu hits her with an off-the-top rope move. Tommy covers her up. It's crazy. You got to check it out. But then the Sandman's music hits. He comes out drinking. And it's supposed to be a ladders and tables match. And, of course, chairs because it's Sabu. So everybody's still in the ring from previous. Sabu runs, takes off, and does a dive to the floor to take Sandman out before he even gets in the ring, before he even has a chance to get in the ring. There's lots of crazy. Everybody else leaves. Sandman and Sabu continue to go at it. There's lots of crazy ladder spots. Then some spots with tables. Sandman hits a leg drop from the top rope to the floor on Sabu. And it's kind of like the table is across the barricade, from the ring to the barricade. He goes through it. Then Sabu returns the same thing, returns the favor with a triple jump leg drop through a table that's from the ring to the barricade. It was nice, but this match was a complete clusterfuck. But it was extreme. That's for sure, and that's what ECW is. It was a complete clusterfuck, a lot of shenanigans, a lot of botched spots, but it was extreme. Sabu stabbed Sandman with a fork at one point. It was bloody, painful, I'm sure. There was 2 failed ladder spots with the ladder on like a teeter-totter. There was 2 of those. Both guys tried one. Both of them failed. Then Sandman hits a somersault off the ladder that's placed inside the ring to Sabu on a table on the outside of the ring. After this, they get back in the ring. Sabu tries to throw a fireball, but it kind of deflects. He misses. Then they hit a couple more crazy spots before the finish. Before Sabu hits a couple more crazy flips and dives before finishing Sandman off with a crazy Arabian face buster with the ladder off the top. This was a little rough, but it was extreme. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great match. Next, we get the ECW heavyweight title match. You get the franchise Shane Douglas with Francine versus the champion, his former partner in the triple threat, Bam Bam Bigelow. It starts off and Douglas gets a couple shots in, but then Bigelow starts hitting hard. And it's a return matchup because Bigelow had took the title off earlier the month before. So Bigelow dominates Douglas with powerbomb and with power and brute force. The fans in Douglas's hometown of Pittsburgh are hostile, really hostile. It's like a very hostile environment for Bam Bam. They're flipping him off. They're cussing him. They're chanting fat ass. It's great. Every time Douglas starts to mount any type of comeback or offense, Bigelow shuts it down immediately. Bigelow put Douglas on the table, goes up for a moonsault, and Douglas rolls off the table, grabs Bigelow, powerbombs him through the table, and he kind of hurts Bam Bam's kidneys. Bam Bam starts selling the kidneys a little. So it's like he gets back up and he takes full advantage of Douglas right after that. Cuts Douglas's offense right off with a powerbomb through a table. And then another one in the center of the ring. And Douglas kicks out. You can tell Bam Bam's kind of hurt. Then Bam Bam starts motioning like this. Like he's going to throw Douglas out of the ring like he did Spike Dudley. But instead, Lance Storm and Chris Candido, Francine calls for them to come down. They run down, but they're banned from ringside. So security stops them. They're in the alleyway. Bigelow actually picks Douglas up over his head, throws him over the turnbuckle out into the aisle, and he lands on all the security guards and Lance Storm and Chris Candido. Douglas is a bloody mess. Bam Bam Bigelow takes one of Francine. She has an ankle injury. She hurt her ankle or her spleen or something, they said, fighting Bam Bam before in the last match. He takes one of her crutches and he actually beats it over Shane Douglas's arm. Now, this is the injury where Douglas wore the black thing on his arm forever. It was pretty vicious how he beat him with the crutch. But Bigelow then goes and gets a half-broken table and a chair, and he sets it up in the ring. And he goes to pick Douglas up to try to powerbomb him through it. Douglas slips over the back, grabs Bigelow, belly-to-bellies him through this, makeshift table that he set up with the chair and the broken table, and wins in his hometown in seconds after having no offense the whole match. And the crowd was going nuts. They was into it because here they had thought that their hometown hero, there was no way he could pull this off, and then he did. As always, I think Joey Styles is the MVP. He's great at telling the story in the ring. As far as like the Shane Douglas match and the Bam Bam, he told how Douglas couldn't mount any offense and how no matter what he does, he keeps getting cut off. So it was really interesting. It was really great hearing Styles tell them stories. And even in the tag team match, the four-way, just the way Joey Styles could hone in and tell the stories of what was going on in the ring. I really thought he makes a great soundtrack. This has been This Day in Wrestling. I'm Pops. I thank you for joining me as we go through some wrestling history. Shane Douglas, the new ECW champion, and I'll see you next time. You have a blessed day as always. All praise to God.